Welcome to Auntie Life Unfiltered, the podcast where we say the things everyone else whispers, feels, or pretends they're totally fine about. Around here, nothing is too awkward, too messy, or too, oh my god, did she really just say that? Yes, I did. This is your space for real talk, real stories, real emotions, and the kind of honesty that makes you laugh, cry, and heal a little. Sometimes all at once. So grab your drink, get comfy, and let's dive in. Because life's too short to sugarcoat it, and I'm not here to do that anyway. Welcome to Auntie Life Unfiltered. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Auntie Life Unfiltered. Today's episode is one of those pinch me moments where purpose, music, and mental health all collide. Today I'm joined by Mary Mosteller, who serves as the managing director of the Taylor Foundation and the CEO of Amplifying Altruism, where she helps turn passion, influence, and advocacy into real measurable impact. In this conversation, we're going behind the mission, talking about mental health, the role music plays in healing and connection, the real stories of impact happening every day, and how people can actually get involved instead of just watching from the sidelines. Welcome, Mary. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Oh, Mel, I'm honored to be here. That was sweet. I feel like you're setting me up here. I'm excited, nervous. Here we go.
Oh, we got this. And yep, you should be. You're an amazing woman and do some amazing things. So we'll share with everybody kind of what you do and, have some fun with it along the way. For listeners who may not know you yet, who is Mary Mosteller behind the titles?
So Mary Mosteller really doesn't care about titles that much at all. Mary Mosteller just wants to be a good person at the end of the day. I've been in nonprofit for most of my adult life. I remember being in elementary school saying I wanted to join the Peace Corps. Like it's just who I am. I just want to help make the world a better place. And I'm very blessed, to have a company that allows me to work with people of influence on amplifying their charitable missions. And one of those, and probably my favorite, is Corey Taylor, lead singer of Slipknot, has a Taylor Foundation, which I've been a part of since we opened in 2022. And it's really changed my life in a lot of positive ways.
That's awesome. And that's so wonderful. You can use your passion, and connect with those that also have that passion and do something that you love every day. A lot of us don't absolutely get to do that. So that's amazing that you get to, turn that into something you can do every single day.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I had a corporate job. I was making
Mm-hmm.
6 figures and it just wasn't paying my heart off. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
quit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to follow my heart here.
That's awesome.
Highly
And I'm
suggest 5
yeah.
stars, recommend to everybody, follow your heart.
Yes, and that's what I'm seeing more and more, which is so awesome. And I've interviewed a couple different people. I'll actually be releasing Friday. His name is Ben. He's originally from Australia, but he was in the army, kind of did the normal thing, and it just wasn't right, and he knew it wasn't right. So he actually went off grid. He went nomad. Used horseback riding through Mongolia and different areas, and just kind of lived off the earth for a long time. So, yeah.
Oh,
It was a
that'll
really
be
powerful
interesting.
episode, and that's the biggest thing with him is do what makes you happy. Are you truly happy in what you do? Then change it. So,
Right.
yes. So you kind of mentioned that you've always kind of been into giving and philanthropy and advocacy work. Was there something particular that led you in that direction, or just since a young child you always were focused on that type of work?
Um, I think I've always been called to it. I had to go to Catholic school, K through 12, where it's just kind of ingrained in you to help, or definitely to fundraise. We had to fundraise for every piece of loose leaf paper we ever pulled out. I think it was just part of like that ingrained in me that's just like service is part of life.
Hmm.
In all along, it's always been the most fulfilling thing I do. It's always just been that it's the greatest high, and I've
Yes.
had a lot of fun in life. But that
Yes.
that intrinsic reward is it's the best fix you'll ever get.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so funny that you say that because I'm finding myself more and more when I'm ending these episodes and just afterwards, I've said that so many times. This is the biggest high I've ever felt is doing my podcast and letting other people have a safe space where they can talk and let other people know they're not alone. Like this is my calling, and I'm so glad that I took the leap and am doing it. So
And it is, and isn't it the greatest feeling in the whole world?
it is.
It is. And kudos to you for doing it.
Thank you. It takes time and you have a lot of self-doubts in there, but just knowing that I'm helping others is so helpful to me. It helps me heal. I don't do it to be famous or I don't want to make millions of dollars or anything. Just want everyone to have a safe space. So,
Amen, sister.
you're the CEO of Amplifying Altruism. What does that work actually look like day to day?
Well, it, so amplifying altruism, it's a work in progress. So I had mentioned that I had worked, a pretty big corporate job, and that's actually where I had met Corey and several other, celebrities doing charity work. That's where I had met them. And so when I left that, I thought, I can do this work, not this work. I'm not trying to get sued by anybody because it's not the same work, but it's similar.
Right.
Like I can do the consulting piece of this
Mhm.
all day long. I know.
Yeah.
So this is a vehicle for me to be able to continue to work. So when I left, I had reached out to Corey and said, I'm leaving this place.
Mhm.
And he said, I'm coming, you're the only person I want to do this with. So
That's
let's go.
amazing.
Like, so I needed to have something that I needed to have some kind of formal thing that my consulting piece could live under. And
Mhm.
then I've got additional clients as well. So I haven't really tried to push or build or grow. I don't have tons of clients. I really wish I wasn't saying this live right now, but it's okay because the ones I have are super quality. I have Corey and I
Mhm.
have a few others that are just quality people doing really good, impactful work that I know has impact. And I
Mhm.
save a lot of space on the side here. I do, motivational speaking. I've got several, I'm doing the Women's Empowerment Conference this spring here in New York. Um, you know, I'm working on writing a book. Like I intentionally only build my calendar part-time so that the
Yeah.
other part-time of that business is working on me as my
Mhm.
individual and making sure that I'm doing those creative things and advancing, whether it's, hosting workshops for women or lending time to just random fundraiser helping kind of things, writing a book, spending time outside, like doing those kind of things that I think the quiet things that we
Mhm.
can't do when you're working 40 to 80 hours a week with all the noise and all the things going on. So I
Yeah.
intentionally built that time. That's a great way to say it's a part-time gig, huh? Now,
Yeah, I love
but
it
it
though,
is a
and
full-time gig,
yeah, absolutely, for sure.
but it's
It's
not something
something.
that I like promote or push.
Mhm.
It's on my LinkedIn that it is my business. It's my company. I own it, but, it's, it's just a vehicle to allow me to live my best life and
Yeah,
do amazing things.
that's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. It's just kind of your part of you can still be you, put yourself to the side, and you can focus on specific areas that you like outside of what you do with the Taylor Foundation. So that's amazing. And I'm sure having those quality clients, like you said, it may not be a ton, but having the quality is better than quantity, as they say in almost everything. So
For sure, for sure. Because it's, you don't want to be spread thin all over the place. And my
absolutely.
clients are aligned, with veterans, first responders, kind of same theme, similar.
Mhm.
Oh, it's aligned. And I like that as well.
That's awesome. What do most people misunderstand about nonprofit work and at this level?
What do you mean by at this level?
Where you're at with the Taylor Foundation or the clients that you have, do they think that it's always sunshine and rainbows, or you have thousands and millions of dollars to work with your charities, or you guys still have to earn your keep for everything as well? So,
We absolutely have to earn our keep as well. Um, I think it's interesting to me in the music family. Now, heavy metal music community are some of the most fiercely loyal, committed, dedicated, loving, caring, compassionate people who will give so much. They will give
mhm,
so much more percentage of their income to help somebody else. I love the metal community. I do.
me
It's
too.
interesting to me So we go to these music festivals, and that's kind of some of our greatest outreach are going to
Mhm.
festivals. And we have this booth, and if you've ever seen it, it's it's an open invitation to get vulnerable with your most
Mhm.
traumatic, horrible things that have happened to you and try to make sense of it and see that you're not alone. It's a place to be vulnerable and interact, and um it's relationary. I don't know if relationary is even a word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And people ask all the time for merch.
Mm.
What can we buy? What can we buy? And I'm like, I don't have anything for you to buy. You can donate. They don't want to donate. They want to buy something. And I struggle with it because I feel that once we start selling something, now we're transactional. And so
Right.
now if I've got a 20-foot space and over here we're selling shirts and you happen to get in the line for shirts and you start telling me, about this is a direct quote now. Quote marks for the people on the radio. Put my fingers. When I hung myself, this person's speaking. When I hung myself, my wife was on the other side of the wall and heard my feet kick and came in time to lift me up and cut me down. If you're telling me that, I cannot interrupt you or stop immediately after that because there's so much more coming
Oh yeah.
to be like, hang on, what size to help
Yeah.
somebody in the line? Or
Yeah.
even to have somebody share that kind of thing and know that that line is turning people right next to you. I feel
Mhm.
you lose the sacredness of it. And I've worked too damn hard. We've worked too damn hard to build this space.
Yes.
So to answer your question of like what's maybe people don't know about nonprofits or people maybe misunderstand. I get you want to walk away with a t-shirt. I got a Catholic t-shirt. They're at all the festivals. They're great shirts. They're great.
Mhm.
If you want to spend $30 on a shirt, knowing that we might get $4 from it somewhere, great. But that $30 could go so much further. That could pay for
Yeah.
like an hour of a treatment for somebody. If people
Yeah.
could just give for the sake of giving because it's
Mhm.
the right thing to do and it feels good to give without expecting something in return. And I really hope I
Absolutely.
don't turn a whole bunch of people off by saying that, but it's something that's always in my like, you'll enter to win a tattoo. You really want this signed guitar. I'm gonna do everything I can to get that signed guitar or the meet and greet. Is there a meet and greet? But beyond all that, the real
Yeah.
work is in the people that choose to wake up today, and I pray to God they wake up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a different mindset, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't think I'm answering your question at all, but I feel like
No,
it's
you
very
did
important
totally.
that I said that because
Oh
it's
yeah.
it's something that I've just noticed. It's the one thing that I'm like,
Yeah.
get it. I don't get it. But prove me wrong and donate at
Yes.
wearetf.org/donate.
No, I think that's so important how you explain that and very important message to get out there. Like it's about you're going to be taking away from like you said focusing on that one person, like you said if you had to go grab a t-shirt, you wait on the next person and then people in the line are going to get frustrated because they're waiting so long and like that's not the point of the foundation and what you guys are there
Oh,
for. And as you said, you could that $30 that you spent, you may get the four $30 would be so much more helpful. And, I'm somebody, I know there's so many people out there though that expect something in return, but I've donated so many times just to donate because I know that's what it's for. I don't expect to get anything. I'm one of those people, I'll take a free t shirt any day, but I'm not going to do it just because I made a donation or something. So,
right. And I appreciate that. And the fans are great and they love us and we love them. And, it's we are TTF. Like that's our
yes.
website. That's Corey's vision. We are like the Taylor
Hmm.
Foundation, website link was gone, was already taken, which is something that I don't think it's even, around anymore. But anyway, so I'm like, Corey, we got to come up with a different like website.
Hmm.
It's like, what about we are TTF? Like we
Yeah.
are, and it's all about we. It's the celebrity at the top, given the vision, the founder, that.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the orgs on the ground, boots on the ground that are doing impactful, innovative work in their local communities. It's every
Mm-hmm.
single person connected with them. It's all the vets, it's all the cops, it's all the firefighters, it's all the dispatch who never gets noticed as a first
Mm-hmm.
responder, but
Oh
they're the
yeah.
first responder,
Yeah.
probably get left with so
Yeah.
much just by the nature of it.
Oh yeah.
The families, the fans, whether they're fans of Corey, whether they're fans of what we're trying to do, just all of us collective humans, that's how we're going to make change. And that's how we're going to smash this stigma. We need
Yes.
every single one of those people. So even if you love the t-shirts and you're determined to buy the t-shirt, I didn't mean to offend you. I still want you to come say hi because we need you in your voice too. It's very
Absolutely. Yes. And I want to touch kind of what you said about the mental metal. I cannot talk. men- metal rock community having that stigma. I personally, I enjoy metal music, rock music, all musics. My husband was a metal drummer his whole life. He's played in bands, local and things like that. And we go to incarceration every year as well. So I completely understand that. The metal community is some of the nicest, caring people that you'll ever meet. And that's something I've been trying to break with this podcast as well, is the stigma around that. Like, people just think they're
totally.
assholes that don't give a shit, kicking babies and animals, and that's far from the case. So, I mean, there are few assholes out there, of course, but that's in anything. So,
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I think incarceration is one of the best, I don't want to say family, but metal
it
family.
is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I loved the most about it the first time. Like, it's smaller. It's not larger than life. It's not Welcome to Rockville. It's ink, and it is hard, and it is
Mm-hmm.
dirty, and it is pavement, and
Yeah.
it's crazy. Mike in the tattoo shop, who I love and I ended up recruiting him to come volunteer with me at Sonic one year.
That's
'Cause I was
awesome.
short on volunteers, but they're such a great, and Dan does a great job with ink. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
It is that family, those people, like, that's the magic, Mel. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the first time we do a festival, we don't know, like, how's it going to go?
Mm-hmm.
But then the next year, when gates open, and within 15 minutes, we've got 30 people. And they're people from last year that couldn't wait
Mm-hmm.
to come see us. It's the people that paid like thousands of dollars for the most VIP ticket, but
Mm-hmm.
then spend 7 to 8 hours a day hanging out with me, us.
Yeah.
Like, why are you buying this ticket? Because you're not even seeing anything. But that we are that home and that family, and they can't wait. They know this one's coming to this one, but they come to Sonic, but they don't come to Ink, or they come to Ink, but they don't go to Rockville. So they're all going to meet in this. It's beautiful.
It is. It
It's such
absolutely
a
is.
beautiful expression of family, chosen family, because sometimes birth family isn't always the best family for people. That
Absolutely. And
music
that's,
family is love.
oh, yeah. That's a big component to everything I do. Is music is therapy for me. It's helped me through some of my darkest moments. It comes up time and time again in these episodes, and it's so important that we have that. And I completely feel at home and comfortable when I go to festivals and can be fully myself and just relax and, forget about the troubles of the outside world. Or as you guys being there, we have somewhere we can go to and talk to about mental health and the important things as well. So that's so important.
It is. I can't wait to see you in July. You're going this year, right?
We're actually not going this year, but you never know. We only live 30 miles north, so we just go back and forth every day. We just can drive back and forth to home, so that makes
Nice.
it nice. So,
Yeah, because there's not many hotel options.
right? No, not at all. It's our anniversary weekend, the weekend of Ink, so we wanted to maybe try something a little different this year, but it's always fun and it's so close. And I did enter a couple contests, so we shall see.
Good luck.
Thank you. So, anyone that's not familiar with the Taylor Foundation, do you want to give us a brief summary how it started, what the main core value of it is, and how it came about?
Sure. So, Taylor Foundation was founded by Corey Taylor, who's the lead singer of Slipknot, Stone Sour, has a solo project, CMFT. He's a New York Times bestselling author. Very good books. Highly recommend. Was started in 2022 by him in response to um, his grandfather. Well, his grandfather was a Korean War veteran who came home, had what they called battle fatigue at the time, didn't know about it, didn't talk about it, sure as hell didn't ask for help about it. And his grandmother was his only real stable person in his life. His parents just weren't as stable as his grandmother. And,
Mhm.
the PTSD ended up having a lot of alcoholism, homelessness. He didn't really know his grandfather. And then as he got older and was able to kind of like piece things together and was always wondered, man, how could our whole family dynamic have been different had he been able to identify it, talk about it, ask for help,
Mhm.
get for help. Um, and so that really inspired him. And his cousins were in the military. Like he's got a lot of military family. And I think more importantly, maybe not more importantly, but so many veterans, first responders over the years have come to him and said, your music saved my life. And he's like, no, you being a fan saved mine. And they're like, no, really. And they do this whole little thing. Uh, but he really, truly wants to give back. And I worked with celebrities. I worked with a lot of celebrities in former roles, and a lot of them do it to look good. A lot of them
Mm.
do it for the tax write-off. A lot of them do it for publicity reasons.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh, that's so cool. So and so just went and fed the homeless." Okay, that is cool, but maybe you didn't see that they were, half an hour late, screaming
Mm.
at people in the back, wouldn't talk as soon as cameras went off. Like, there's things that happen that you don't that you know.
Yeah.
Corey Taylor is by far the most authentically genuine, generous, all in for all the right reasons, committed, dedicated human for this cause. And I didn't tell you what the cause was before I went into his why, but um, we are exist to uplift and amplify innovative resources around the country that support veterans, first responders, law enforcement, and their families with post-traumatic stress. So Corey Taylor is not a social worker. I'm not a social worker. He has a voice that a lot of people listen to. So we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're not trying to create a new program because, puppies are great and service animals are fantastic. And I can probably say with confidence, there's probably at least 2,000, if not more, organizations around the country that offer puppy dogs. And we love to honor those. We want to call all of those out all over the country, but we're not going to start our own little puppy dog thing, right?
Yeah.
However, speaking of puppy dogs, there's a group called Puppy Jake Foundation in Iowa, and they got two service animals in, and they did name them Corey and Claire is Corey's grandfather's name. So they named
Aw,
two animals
nice.
after the Taylors, and he gets to go visit them. And he actually
Aw.
also narrated with Iowa PBS Dogs of Service, which is a documentary about how to have a service animal, what it takes to become a service animal, like from the being of the dog perspective. It's super cool.
That's
Um,
awesome.
but anyway, I mean, it's not all about puppies because that's just one little tiny piece. So, there's Guitars for Vets. There's so many organizations all around the country. And then you've got the big machine. You got the big VA. And I was just face to face with the big VA out in Vegas in the beginning of January at SHOT Show. So I've got some more, I've gained some insight and respect into the VA. They're trying. I think some sites are better than others, but you've got this great big machine that a lot of veterans, right, wrong, or indifferent, have issues with.
Mhm.
A lot of them won't go. A lot of the ones that commit suicide don't go, and they're still dropping whether they go or not. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But you've got this machine, you've got Wounded Warriors, you got all these big machines. But what we know about the machines typically is that there's lots of red tape. It takes a lot of time to get in. You may not feel seen or heard. You may just be a number, not a name. And a lot of people don't like them. So
Yeah.
where do we send them? So what we want to do is find these innovative, really great resources because that's where change happens. That in your own little neighborhood, in your own little community, people who are working around the clock, not getting paid six figures because they actually give a shit and want somebody to get care.
Mhm.
Amplify those. So we leverage Corey's celebrity when he was touring. Oh, I need to drink. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
When he was touring, I'd get a kind of like a route list. This is everywhere he's going. And then I would research all those cities, Cincinnati, Brooklyn, Kansas City, wherever he's going. I would research those cities and try to find these smaller organizations. I look at their 990. I check their social media accounts. I do my homework before I even reach out to them. And
Mhm.
often when I reach out, they think I'm a scam because, yeah, right, Corey Taylor doesn't want to work with. So I have to convince them that it's not a
Yeah.
um, and then we would meet, and if it's a good fit, then when Corey was in town, he would go and spend like an hour or two with them. He's taught guitar lessons, he's done paint classes, he's helped train service animals. He just sits around the table and brainstorms with these people and signs all their legs so they can go get his name tattooed on their leg because they're weird. But no, they're not weird. I've seen somebody, they're great. Um, and really just interact with them. And then they get to go to the show. And then any money we raise, we would then redistribute. So he's not touring this year, didn't do much touring last year. So we're kind of refiguring like that exact model isn't going to happen this year,
Mhm.
So we've looked at different um, conventions and conferences because we also want to increase access. We'll still be at all the music festivals,
Mhm.
though he's not playing. All the DWPs, Louder Than Life, Rockville, Sonic Inc. We're going to Aftershock this year for the first time.
Nice.
Super excited for. Yeah, because am I rambling too much?
No, we got all the time in the world, and I love it.
So we get to go to Aftershock. I'm based in New York, so we've pretty much done mostly kind of East
Mhm.
Coast
Yeah.
things because I'm cheap. I rent a U-Haul. I drive everything. I'm not
Yeah.
to ship things and fly first class, although I very well could. I
Mhm.
don't want the money to pay for my travel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How come I
Mhm.
do this as cheap as possible
Right.
to get me places? So getting everything from East Coast to West Coast it's a lot.
Mhm.
So Corey's based out of Vegas, and I was just there. And we had to ship for the SHOT Show convention, which was like a whole new thing we've never done. It was like a firearm it, convention, uh, but you have to have a badge to get in. So law
Mm.
enforcement, veterans, it was 60,000 of our people in a place that we're not used to seeing them at because we're not
Yeah.
being there. But they were there, so we needed to go. And Corey, the convention, because it was in a casino, like we had to freight everything, and I've never had to
Mm.
freight anything. So I ended up getting my other half volunteered. He drove 5,000 miles,
Oh, wow.
his own personal vehicle to
Oh.
deliver this stuff so we wouldn't have to pay freight costs and try to figure that out. But anyway, Corey got us a storage unit. He met me at the storage unit that day, actually 2 days in a row, because the one day the code he had was given didn't work. So we had to go
Oh,
like 2 days
gosh.
in a row. Thankfully it's near his house, but um, met me there, unloaded stuff, loaded my car with stuff, like volunteered. He's like, that's too heavy. Don't pick it up. I mean, he's in for the right reasons. He's given the time. He's not afraid to work. He came to the convention, was able to be there for like over 3 hours because it wasn't a music festival and everybody
Mhm.
didn't know him, where he could never do this
Yeah.
at Inc.
No.
You've got like 2 minutes, if that, and he's got to
Mhm.
go. Although one year at Louder, he did spend, almost 2 hours behind our activation tent with all of our volunteers, our ambassador team, and he hung with them for an hour and a half, 2 hours, just brainstorming about the foundation. What do you guys think? What do you
That's
think we should
awesome.
do? How would that work? And genuinely listening to their answers and caring about it, not
Mhm.
just, "Hey, Brittany's trying to be nice." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just said a whole lot. I don't even know where I started. That's kinda how I roll. So I'm just gonna pause.
No problem. That's how I am. I'm a rambler and it can go on and squirrel off on a million different tangents. But that's the point of this podcast. We're real, we're raw, we're unfiltered. We're just here to kind of have a conversation and hang out. So I love it.
Awesome.
But no, I'm gonna touch on a couple points of that. That's absolutely amazing what you guys do, and it's amazing. I follow all your pages, and follow his social medias and everything throughout the years, and it's amazing to see that he actually cares, and I've seen you post where he was helping you, and unloading and loading, and that's so amazing. As you say, not everyone is like that, but it's amazing to see that, and he truly is committed to this and has his purpose behind it with his family, and it is so important, and that's something that has come up time and time again, even talking with, like, Chris and stuff, the VA, the veterans, they don't get as much help as they should, and it's so absolutely horrible, and as you said, they don't feel comfortable kinda going to those bigger organizations, whether it's the stigma or things they've heard or just experiences that they've experienced or just being scared to even take the first step, so it's amazing what you guys do.
Well, it's an honor. It's an honor to be able to hold that space. It's an absolute privilege. People say to me a lot, so lucky you get to work with Corey Taylor. And I am. Like, I am. I'm not gonna, I totally, yeah, I get to work.
Right.
Oh my God, I am blessed. But he's not the win. He's
No.
not the win at all for me. At all. Like, sorry. But he's and it's
Right.
not about him, and he doesn't want it about him.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is such a privilege. It's sacred. The things that people share, it's when they're done talking, it's when they're done on their swirl, and all of a sudden it's
Yeah.
the big exhale, it's when the voice cracks and that person's trusting me with that story.
Yeah.
It really is such an honor. Like, wow, I don't know how I deserve to hear this. And I'll be honest, I come home after a weekend of these, and I'm in bed in the fetal position for a day and a half, 2 days.
Yeah.
Cannot have no energy. I'm not crying, I'm not sobbing, I'm just trying to compartmentalize everything that I've just heard. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and to see the growth, like even like our volunteers growth, like we just did Shiprock for the first time, heavy metal cruise to the Bahamas, oh God, such
I
fun.
wanna do it. I think it'd be awesome.
But I always bring, veteran volunteers. I'm not a veteran. I can't. I'd like to think I'm a decent human, but I can't empathize with that veteran or first responder
Mhm.
experience other than being a family member. Um, so I always count on veterans to come and volunteer. And I have Wade, who was at Inc. this year. He's with Project Refit. He's based out of Massachusetts. He's incredible. He was coming from day one. We had somebody else that was supposed to come. And life happens, and it was in the best interest that this person didn't come on this trip and maybe comes on another one. And
Mhm.
this came up 3 days before we're supposed to set sail. This isn't like a festival where you can drive in and leave. This is we're going
Yeah.
to the middle of the ocean, and I need a volunteer.
Yeah.
So I reached out to this dude, Howie, that I had met once. And when I met this guy, I thought he was an extrovert like me. Like he just
Yeah.
gave me that vibe that he's all right. And he's a vet, and he had reached out a few times, like, how can I help? How can I help? And he lives in Florida, and we were leaving out of Miami. So I, I'm being thoughtful, but I'm also being strategic. I need somebody that doesn't need a plane at this point to get on
Mhm.
this boat.
Yeah.
And so I reached out, and sure enough, his boss gave him the time off of work. Like with 3 days notice, I'm taking a week off to go to the Bahamas. Boss was like, absolutely have to do this. And come to find out, Howie is not an extrovert. Howie is very much an introvert and had shared like multiple times, like 2 years ago, there's no way I would have been able to do this. And to
Mhm.
see him every day from like kind of hiding behind, like, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to say. I'm over here. Like by the end, he's like, come on, we're going to the combat confessional. Like to see him grow in his confidence and in himself, in his belief and this really works. And oh my gosh, I'm really impacting people's lives. Oh my gosh, this person's father just died and she came and talked to me and then said I made her feel better. Well, that's because you did. Like
Mhm.
seeing people like that, watching them, and then they
Mhm.
leave and they're like, okay, now I'm making daily videos on Facebook because somebody told me that I what I have to say matters. And he's still
Hmm.
making the videos. Like, those are the wins.
Oh
Those
yeah.
those kind of things, I think, change our volunteers' lives, or the people who touches their lives, not in an Epstein way, but yeah, and that makes my life worth it.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just rambling.
No, you're fine. I love it. That's absolutely beautiful. And as we kind of mentioned at the beginning of the episode, that high that I get from doing this, from what you do, it's so great to see other people get that as well. And it helps us heal in so many ways and just being there for others. And I've had people reach out to me that have never shared their stories and, opened up to me and wanted me to be the one to share their story. And that's just so powerful and so amazing. And I honor that so much and understand how important that is for somebody to be open and honest with me. So I absolutely never take that for granted. And that's so awesome that you get to witness that firsthand all of the time. So
Yeah, it's definitely changed my life. When you sit
absolutely.
with people who survived war, and even people who haven't, just regular civilian people and their trauma. And I used to think I had problems.
Mm,
I have no problems. I have
yeah.
no problems. I have a lot of opportunities. I have a lot of opportunities, but I can't sweat small stuff. Not when I can look eye to eye with people and hear the things that they've been through. And I'm going to
Hmm.
sit, not that my life, not that you
Right.
have a bad day, because it doesn't negate someone's got it worse. Doesn't mean your bad day isn't bad, because your bad day is very bad, you know.
Hmm.
But for me personally, it, it, it really has to take a lot to get me into a bad day at this point, just because I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for what I have.
Yes.
You know?
That's awesome and beautiful in itself, and I agree with you there. We all have things, but yeah, to see what other people have went through and have made it, they're on the other side or they're asking for that help. It's crazy what people have been through, and like you said, everybody's worst is their worst. It may not be as worse as somebody else, but there are people that have truly lived it and have come out on the other side, and it's absolutely amazing. Just doing this myself, I've had quite a few people bring up their what led them up to, almost taking their lives or committing suicide and different things like that, and I did wanna touch on this a little bit, not to, like, fangirl or bring Corey back up all the time,
No,
but,
totally.
my cousin, she was one of my first episodes, and she has been sober from alcohol for, I think, 4 years now, and Corey always played an important part in her life before she even was in her dark, deep depression, but one of her things I asked her in our interview was like, "What got you out of that? What music?" And it's always his music. She always brought that up, and like you said, there's so many people that resonate from his words and their music, whether it's his own solo work, Stone Sour, or Slipknot. So that's so important. Music is absolutely amazing, as we keep saying. So, what do you think music and mental health have hand in hand, or why it's so important that they go together?
I want to answer that, but first I want to huge kudos to her for 4 years of sobriety. That's awesome. I'm three. I hit 3 years alcohol free at the end of December, and it's been the
Awesome.
best decision I ever made in my entire life.
Yes.
Um, and it's definitely very important to Corey, that sobriety.
Mhm.
It's important for me, I think, to also walk the walk. It's not easy, but kudos to her, because that's awesome. Music and metal. Mental health is metal. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
some people go to therapy, some people go to the mosh pit, and for some people
Mhm.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
We did a thing on Shiprocked. We had a whole exhibit about what's on your survival playlist. So we had this giant banner, and then there was like 20 or more uh, big LP records, and we put a different sticker like on the center what it was, and it was like
Mhm.
that emotion. So it's like my survival song when I'm angry, my survival song when I'm triggered, my survival song when I'm depressed, when I'm hopeful, when I'm anxious. Let's actually name what real emotions
Mhm.
are, because
Yeah.
there's more than one. You know what I mean? When
Yeah.
it comes to these, and ask people to write different songs,
Mm.
what their songs were, and then we're kind of building them all together to curate like this mental health playlist. But so many people loved it, participated on the survey. That was one of the things they wrote the most, the Shiprock survey. Not We didn't do a survey.
Mhm.
that they love the opportunity to share that music. I mean, we just know music does heal. And, um, on the sober thing, like that, maybe it's time with Nikki Sixx and Corey and Joe
Mhm.
Elliott, and there's all the kind of people in that. I used to listen to that song a lot, and a lot of people have named that song. Uh,
Mhm.
it does, and there's so many. I think we've all got our different playlists.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I
for
want to
sure.
cry. This is the
Yes.
list I'm listening to.
Yes.
I just want to like blast middle fingers to everybody, which isn't often. It's that one.
Right.
It's definitely brought a lot of people out of a lot of places. It's kept a lot of people here.
Absolutely. I feel like music is my therapy. I agree with you on that one. And just going to concerts, live music, or at home with my husband listening to music or watching him perform, it's so healing for me. And as you said, there's a song for any type of emotion, any situation. And I call myself people have been using a lot this year, polyamorous. I listen to all genres of music. I have country, rap, jazz, metal, alternative music, all mixed in there. So um
Same.
yeah. So it is so important, as you said, when you're in specific moods, that right playlist. Like today is actually the ninth anniversary that I lost my first pregnancy. I've lost 8 pregnancy loss since 2017 and can no longer have kids. But I just shared that today with everybody. This is my playlist for my babies. Like there's so many songs. You need that good cry or just to have an emotion. There's so many ways that we can use music. So
That's a lot of loss.
thank you. It is. That's one of the main reasons I started this podcast is because of my stories and sharing my stories and trying to break the stigma around that as well as it's so taboo and stigmatized to talk about those things. So
For sure. What's your favorite song on that playlist?
My favorite song, this is gonna be funny, but hey, I'm real and honest. My all-time favorite song to I call them our sweet pea babies instead of angel babies, is "Slipped Away" by Avril Lavigne. I also love "Gone Too Soon" by Daughtry is one of my favorites.
Mhm.
And there's a Disturbed song that I can't think of right now, but there's so many. But my all-time favorite is that Avril Lavigne song that gets me every time. I resonate with the lyrics to that song, and it's just absolutely perfect for my situation.
Well, I love that you found that song.
Thank you so much. What can people do to get more involved, or what would be the first step to help get in this foundation or assist with helping or even reaching out if they need help themselves?
So, all great questions. First, real quick, I want to address what happens if people need help themselves.
Mhm.
Uh, we are not a crisis line.
Right.
We do not offer a crisis line. There are times that we get messages like in Facebook Messenger of people who probably should be calling a hotline. And
Yeah.
I have opinions on hotlines, but in that moment, the Taylor Foundation inbox is not the place to
Right.
be. We want to catch you before you're in that moment. If you're in that
Absolutely.
moment, we want you to get help, absolutely. But it's not monitored 24 hours a day. The people monitoring, I'm raising my hand. It's me. I I don't. Please don't do that. I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know how to
That's
say
good
that.
advice there.
Blunt.
Yes.
Like I understand there's moments and things, but I also I just don't want I would just never be able to sleep if somebody
Yes.
went there thinking that was the answer, and it just please don't.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
however, on a before you get to that moment, when things are shitty, but they're not like, oh my God, shitty, that's
Mhm.
when you need to go to our website. We are ttf.org. We're in the process. We're going to be having some updates up hopefully finished before summer because we've met a lot of new people. But if you go there, there's a page where you can click on your state, click on different resources, and a whole bunch will come up: national, regional, um, and by state of what we know. So there's, like I said, there's probably 2,500 puppy organizations around the country. We do not have every single one listed on there. We don't.
Yeah.
Because so if you have an organization that you think we should know about, or you're aware of, oh my God, this group here is doing really, really great work in this space. You should know about them. Or hey, I work at this place and I want you to know about us. That's the perfect place to send us through
Mhm.
Facebook Messenger and connect, so then we can get you into the having a meeting and finding out more.
Yeah.
So our website has lots of resources. We're pretty active on Facebook. We just started a LinkedIn account, which
Mm.
I'm actually really excited about because, as I mentioned earlier, we're trying to do more of convention, conferences, because not everybody can afford $3,000 to go to a festival over the weekend.
Yeah.
But there's still millions of veterans and first responders out there that are actually in a professional capacity. Not that metal festival isn't professional capacity,
Hmm.
but you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, absolutely.
off from a festival, getting out there more. Um, so we're really trying to build up our business profile there so we can make headway in that space, and also looking for corporate sponsors. So trying to get headway on LinkedIn is great. And follow us on
Awesome.
socials. We are going to be at, like I said, all the DWP festivals this year. We will be on Shiprock 2027, which I believe is now going to Cozumel.
Oh, yeah.
Hope to be back at SHOT Show. We do have a thing on our website where it's called Ambassador Club. It's a form where people can fill out a form if they're interested in volunteering. It has, there's questions about like skill set. What are you good at? I also want to preface that with I'm the only employee of the foundation. We rely on volunteers. We
Hmm.
absolutely do. Um, and it's something we want to launch and launch well. Currently, we work with a curated group of people that I've come to know and trust,
Hmm.
and we're building. Um, you're not going to fill out that form and get an answer tomorrow. Like we're going to have you volunteer on Friday at 6.
Yeah.
It's just not. But right now, we're just trying to collect this information because we want to do it well, and I want it to fit skill sets. Like I
Yes.
want to build a program where, okay, these people are really good at this. Let's cluster this into something. Let what can these people do? So it's not just some blanket, I'm a volunteer for this and I do XYZ,
Hmm.
you know? And it's the boring same old every week I stuff envelopes because you're never going to stuff envelopes for us. Like,
Yeah.
um, you know, uh, if you're interested, sign up. Let me get that information. Then don't change your email or your phone number for a few months, and
Yeah.
I'll be in touch. And we sincerely want to. And I know that probably sounded like not sincere, but it is sincere. It's just a matter of capacity,
Oh, for sure.
growth, scaling. How do we do this so we do it well? Because I think particularly with this demographic, they keep getting sent to closed doors.
Yeah.
They keep getting referred. Well, go here, try that. And the door's closed. Well, try this one. And then that door's closed. And then, well, maybe I'll try this. Closed. I don't want to give somebody a closed door. So that's why I'm going to be honest. We want to
Oh,
know who
yeah.
you are. We want to know how you want to help. And we hope that very soon we can utilize that help. But I also just don't want to overpromise and then underdeliver because I would never be able to work with that. But sharing our stuff on social media, coming to see us at the festivals. If you're at a festival and we're there, bring some friends. Want to go out into the crowd and bring people back to us? I might be able to get you something that would be a nice little thank
Right.
you. I don't know. I mean, I don't know bribing you, but word of mouth's your best advertiser.
Yeah.
So you can see an ad 25 times and you don't think twice, but your best friend says they just got this and it changed their life. All of a sudden you're all ears.
Hmm.
So word of mouth. If you like us, tell people about us. If you like
Yes.
somebody that's a veteran or a first responder, check on them. That has nothing to do with the Taylor Foundation, but you
Hmm.
can do a buddy check on anybody, any day of the week. You could pick one day
Yes.
a week and do 4 buddy checks and just check on 4
Yes.
people. And that's the greatest thing you could do to advance the mission of the Taylor Foundation without ever even saying the Taylor Foundation's name. Do your own personal part trying to keep somebody else alive.
Yes. That's great. And that's
And you
so
don't have to
beautiful.
fix it. You just have to listen.
Yes. Absolutely. Just being there for somebody, like you said, just checking in. A lot of people feel so alone, just or consciously taking that effort. You have the time, you're in a good headspace. reach out. You don't like you said, you're not a professional, you're not there to, like, help them and guide them, but just to listen and let them know that they aren't alone in whatever they're going through is so important. And I think it's awesome how you explain that, and you guys do need to be selective. You also need to be use your time valuably. You can't respond to every single email right away. You have your own things going on, and that is so important. You have to have the right fit and the right people in that environment. You couldn't just let everybody be involved, so yes.
Right. And, and let's be honest, especially when you have a celebrity involved, when you have
Mhm.
a rock star involved, you get a lot of fangirl
Oh,
fanboys.
yeah, for
And,
sure.
that's vetting is important, you know.
Yes.
Even people that I think love what we do, there's some people that want Corey. And
Yeah.
that's not the way to go.
Right.
It's just
No.
not.
No, this is not the avenue for that. This is something that's actually important, and not saying that he's not, but this is what you guys are there for. He's not there to, meet everybody or wanna hang out with everybody. He's here to do the purpose and the mission that he wants to do, so
That's right. And he does it very well. He does. I'll message him like, I need a video for this. And I'll have it within 10 minutes. I
that's
found that
awesome.
I have to get him early. Like I'm East Coast, he's West Coast, just because he's super busy and his
Oh,
mind
yeah.
all over, but I found, okay, I message at 7 a.m. his time, which is 10 o'clock my time.
Yeah.
I'm like, oops, sorry, it's so early. But, yeah, I
Then
do
he
it
does it, yeah.
before the squirrel kicks in, because once the
Yep.
squirrel kicks in, I lose him,
Right, yeah.
But if I
That's
message him and I
awesome.
need something, for the most part, I'll have it within 10 minutes.
That's amazing.
Or at least a reply of when I can get it. Kind of.
Right. Yeah.
He's amazing.
That's so wonderful, I love that. If someone listening today takes away just one thing from this episode, what do you hope it is?
I would say to I would love it if every listener kind of just looked inside and see their own personal responsibility to mental health in this country. And you're
Mhm.
probably like, whoa, where did that come from?
No, I love
We didn't really
that.
talk about that. But, I mean, this is a charity, Taylor Foundation.
Mhm.
And I love charity. I always have. I said that like for my whole life. But after doing this for a few years and just being around it so much, like I said, being around so many big exhales, it's responsibility. And I think
Mhm.
mental health in particular is by far the greatest epidemic, pandemic, I don't care, whatever you want to call it, we've ever faced. And nobody in charge seems to really care or
Yes.
do anything to fix it other than sell big pharma. And am very anti big pharma.
Me too.
And I think if we're going to wait for the government or the powers that be or the military or the VA or religion for any of these kind of things to make leeway on this anytime soon without our help, we're all crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we are certifiable, like that, right?
Absolutely.
But there's power in numbers and there's so many people, there's so many individuals. And that's how you get rid of stigma is by being responsible in how we talk about it, how we
Yes.
message about it, who we support, what we don't support. And I'm not talking politics at all. I'm
Mhm.
not talking those, but you know, it you have to be able to talk about it. Even
Mhm.
things like people talk about suicide, they commit suicide. Well, you commit rape, you commit murder. Everything that people commit sounds like a crime.
Yeah.
Or now the word is complete suicide. And at first I'm like, that's kind
Yeah.
it's hard to connect to, but it connected me with the commit part. I try,
Mhm.
and younger people say like unalive myself, or there's different
Yeah.
ways to say it. And I'm not a big person that's into buying into all the let's come up with a million different
Mm,
euphemisms, not
yeah,
just saying the word. Because I worked in hospitals
exactly.
for 10 years before I did any of this. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely like, you can say they died.
Right.
Because it's the
Yes.
fact,
Yes.
the whole commit, even in it, when we say that, we put shame into it.
Mm,
It- just every little word choice, I think so often is our responsibility of how we present ourselves and how we show up. And
yes.
there's a lot of hate going around, a lot of,
Yeah.
and I will tell you, I want to tell you what this is it, because the answer is love. And we got survey results from this shipwrecked thing and all these testimonies. We had 160 some people leave testimonials about us on board. And somebody wrote, and it's my favorite one: love is such a great way to let people know they aren't alone. And
I love
fuck
that.
yeah, it is. It's
Yes,
the
it is.
only way. So if
Absolutely.
you have something to take away from this, just try to love and know it's your responsibility to put it out there, even when people aren't loving you.
Yes, I love that, and that's my whole mission behind my podcast, trying to be there for people, letting people know they have a safe space, letting people share their stories, and as you said, it is important. I've thought about that myself with the new slang, the new terms for things like, oh, but yeah, you just gave me a better perspective on the, committed to, or, things like that, or completed, that completely makes a lot of sense. So, and as you said, it's on us to take the little steps. All of us, if we all make the change and try to help one another, just being there for somebody, like you said, it's not going to come from the higher ups or the higher powers at all. We all need to take those little steps ourselves. And you doing what you do, me doing what I do, we're doing our part in it. Everyone can do it just by sharing, even just sharing our stuff or sharing any information that you can find that is legit. Don't be sharing, crazy things out there, as you mentioned before, messaging you guys if it's in your moment of crisis. That's not the right avenue. But there's so many things that we can do, and it doesn't cost us anything. Just being there for somebody, just sharing something, that's so important. And I love that you said that.
Well, thank you. And I love that you're doing this, and I can't wait to see you grow.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that so
This
much.
is how we change the world. It,
Absolutely.
it is.
Yes. Yes. And I love you also said that too, even when I'm younger, I will only be 39 next month, but even when I was younger, there's still that stigma in mental health. Like my generation and the ones before us and after us are trying to break that, like it shouldn't be taboo to talk about your mental health. That's why so many people do take their lives or never reach out or don't ever feel comfortable in their own skin. I remember as a child telling my parents I thought I was bipolar and they're just like, whatever, that's just a fad you're going through. That's how it was. And like you said, the pandemic or epidemic of mental health, it is awesome and I love it. So
Well, enough. We got to smash it. We do. The only
absolutely.
way to do that is to talk about it. So let's keep
Absolutely.
talking.
Well, Mary, this has been amazing and I could talk to you all day long. But before we go, I'd like to end with just some fun, lighthearted questions just to get
Oh
to
yeah,
know
the
you better.
throwers.
Yes. So,
Okay.
are you a coffee or a tea person?
Coffee, black.
Coffee. Nice. Early mornings or late night?
Early mornings.
Yeah.
Well,
One word people use to describe you.
enthusiastic.
I love that. Go-to song when you need a reset.
The song's called "The Power Is Here Now." I can't tell you who sings it. It's never been on the radio. It's a woo woo spiritual song that just
Nice.
gets me. I'll send it to you if you're interested. But
Okay, absolutely, for sure. Most underrated self-care practice.
most underrated self care. Breathing, deep
Yeah,
breathing, anxiety, just really focusing on your breath makes such a difference. There's so many exercises you can do to calm you down, to really settle anything and just bring you back to that moment. And it's free. There's no
yeah,
excuse. Breath work
yes.
by far.
I
Most,
love that. I had a somatic therapist on here and, we brought that up how in the moment you need to either breathe or, we brought brought up having a scent with you, like an essential oil or something that brings you joy, because we don't always have those moments to step away and nap or take a bubble bath or read or something. We need to in that moment, and breathing really helps in so many ways. Once I learned how to use it correctly and like with meditation and things like that, it's so helpful and truly can just bring you back into the moment and help you ground.
Absolutely.
One thing giving you hope right now.
It was 50 degrees in New York today.
Oh,
Giving
I
me
love
lots
that.
of hope.
Yes, I'm in Ohio, as we mentioned, and yes, it was, I think, 52. It might be in the 60s the next couple of days, and just being able to have the windows open, get some fresh air. I like to get out and walk in nature. It's so nice. So I'm with you. And us Northerners, when it's 40 out, we're all
It's
excited.
t-shirt weather.
Yeah, exactly. Me and my husband took a walk on Valentine's Day without our coats on and stuff, and it was just so nice to be able to do that. So I completely agree with you on that. Well, Mary, thank you so much for your energy, your honesty, and the work that you're doing to move mental health advocacy forward in such a real way. Conversations like this are exactly why I created this podcast. They go beyond the mission, beyond the headlines, and into the heart of the work that's actually changing lives. For everyone listening, I'll include the links in the show notes so you can learn more and get involved. If this episode resonated with you, share it, talk about it, and most importantly, check in on yourself and the people around you. Until next time, this is Auntie Mel Mel reminding you that your story matters and impact starts with connection. All right, friends, that's a wrap on today's episode of Auntie Mel Mel Life Unfiltered. Thank you for spending this time with me and stepping into the real, the raw, the messy, and the magical, because we don't do surface level here. If this episode hit home, made you laugh, or helped you feel a little less alone, go ahead and follow the podcast and share it with someone who might need it too. And remember, you are never too much, never too little, and never alone on this wild ride. I'll meet you back here next time for more truth, more feels, and more unfiltered goodness. This is Auntie Mel Mel signing off. Stay real, stay kind, and stay unfiltered. Thanks for hanging out with me today. This is Auntie Mel Mel. If this episode made you laugh, think, or feel a little less alone, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Sharing it really helps this community grow. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and right here on YouTube. I'll see you in the next episode of Life Unfiltered.